Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to meet French President Emmanuel Macron ahead of Modi's visit to France next week. Macron's diplomatic advisor Emmanuel Bon was in Delhi to lay the grounds for the high-profile visit. Bon met his Indian counterpart Ajit Doval. The two held discussions around defence, security and strategic issues. In addition to taking stock of preparations for PM Modi's visit, the Indian leader will hold a bilateral meeting with French President Macron on the 13th of July. He will also be the guest of honour at the Bastille Day celebrations in the country. Three food delivery giants have sued New York City to block minimum pay standards for delivery workers. They argue that regulators use faulty data to calculate the new compensation rules. The companies claim that they will be forced to pass on the cost of the higher wages to consumers by raising prices. The skirmish over delivery worker pay is a part of a long-running conflict between GIG companies and labour activities. Days after violence erupted in France, the French Senate has now passed a controversial law granting sweeping powers to police authorities. This after the country was engulfed in riots after the police fatally shot a teenager in a Paris suburb. According to reports, French police can now spy on suspects by remotely activating cameras, microphones and the GPS location systems of a phone. Devices can be remotely activated to record images as well as sound. This technology will be employed to track suspects in the spotlight for terror offences, delinquency and organised crime. Debris of 8 aircraft have been found in Ukraine. 7 decades ago, these were the jets which were used in the Second World War, a war which saw the United Kingdom, the United States and the Soviet Union fighting from the same side as Allied powers. The UK, which assisted Soviet Union in the period between 1939 to 1945, is now assisting Ukraine in its battle against Russia. London has committed over $500 million to Ukraine in assistance, from anti-tank weapons to multiple launch rocket systems to armoured vehicles, artillery to small arms and ammunition. At least 18 people were taken to hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries after a double-decker tour bus collided with a New York City commuter bus in Manhattan. This according to the city's fire department. The front windows of a double-decker top-view tour bus were shattered in the collision. Both buses were crowded. Another 63 people were evaluated by medical staff at the scene. A car crashed into a school building in southwest London's Wimbledon region. According to reports, a child has been killed in the tragic incident. 6 other children and 2 adults were reported to be injured as a gold-coloured Land Rover crashed into the study preparatory school. A local member of parliament said that several of the injured were being treated as critical. Police authorities have arrested a woman on suspicion of causing death by dangerous driving. Further investigations into the incident are still underway, but the police have ruled out possibility of any terror-related motive at the moment. The US Food and Drug Administration has granted standard approval to Eisai and Biogen's Leqembi, a drug for patients with early Alzheimer's disease. The approval has cleared the way for wider insurance coverage of the drug. The FDA included its strongest safety boxed warning on its label. It flags the risk of potentially dangerous brain swelling for Alzheimer's drugs like Leqembi, which is an antibody designed to remove sticky deposits of a protein called amyloid beta from the brains of Alzheimer's patients. The European Commission has raised concerns over Amazon's $1.7 billion acquisition of robot vacuum cleaner maker iRobot. The Commission fears that the deal could reduce competition and strengthen Amazon's position as an online marketplace provider. They have opened a full-scale investigation and will make a decision by the 15th of November. Amazon has stated that the vacuum cleaner market is highly competitive, but the Commission is worried about the potential restriction of competition.
Alexa, tell Roomba combo to vacuum.
In Japan, nominal base salary has experienced its fastest growth in 28 years. According to government data, this development fuels the debate surrounding the timing of the central bank's withdrawal of ultra-loose monetary stimulus. Regular wages rose by 1.8% in May, marking the largest increase since February of 1995. The boost in base pay resulted in a 2.5% rise in nominal wages for workers. Additionally, household spending fell by 4% in May compared to the previous year. Thousands of dead fish have washed ashore in drought-hit Iraq. The fish washed up on the banks of the Amshan River in Majar al-Kabir, a region that is home to fabled marshes in the floodplain of the Tigris River. Experts have drawn a comparison between the effect of global warming on water bodies and linked that to the condition of the fish. Iraq's Agriculture Ministry announced the forming of a committee to look into the deaths of such a vast number of fishes. In a bid to decarbonize, companies will now explore giant kites that drag cargo ships, which will be now trialed. The kite is called Suing and it is developed by Airseas. The company anticipates that a 1,000 square meter parafoil kite flying at an altitude of 300 meters will cut fuel consumption by about 20%. Shipping carriers more than 80% of all goods traded globally. It also accounts for almost 3% of man-made carbon dioxide emissions. Airseas says its technology is automated and can be installed on any ship. Amid soaring temperatures and in a hope to keep cool, the locals in Cairo took a swim in the Nile. Last week, Egypt experienced one of its many summer heat waves with temperatures soaring above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Globally, Earth's average temperature on Wednesday remained at an unofficial record high. Scientists have warned for months that 2023 could see record heat. Driven largely by burning of fossil fuels like coal and gas, the atmosphere has warmed up. Globally on record last month was the hottest June, with abnormally high temperatures recorded on both land and sea. June smashed through the previous temperature records. Above average temperatures swept through countries like India, Iran and Canada. The extreme heat in Mexico caused about 100 deaths. Scientists suggest that climate attached with the emergence of El Niño weather pattern have fueled record-breaking temperatures.